it's W7M coming out with these spicy bans. The Grim and the Soulless coming away here. We've seen G2 run the Mute, the Mozzie, the Soulless on Nighthaven in particular throughout the competition. So I think here again, it's just that goal to try and weaken the intel denial game. Not seeing too much Jackal being paired up alongside it, but with all three of those operators lined up, there is going to be so much Roma suppression coming out of this W7M team.
Virtue already coming under heavy pressure, but he's going to win out that first fight. Herds, he's going to be taken down, and that leaves W7M looking to fight from distance, but Uno, he's there to back him up. Uno had a fantastic day yesterday, and he comes in hot, looking to continue that streak.
I thought we might see some top floor control coming in, but instead they've opted to go basement side and work their way up. But so far, they have been utterly refuted by the side of G2. 2 early kills coming in, no basement pressure under their control. You've got Philippok still flirting around Boiler at the minute, playing on the Lion, hoping to push on through. But for W7M in a 3 versus 5, these are the kind of rounds that G2 just don't throw away.
Unlikely. Philippok is going to be heading up those yellow stairs slowly, wanting that slow peek around the corner, see if he can catch anybody out moving. He's actually going to find himself all the way up at the top, but all the way down as Doki puts him down. Nade somehow has managed to wriggle into a position to put this diffuser down, and I'm not sure that G2 were aware that Nitro comes in a little bit late. They're going to have to play the retake, but in a 5 versus 1, you've got to say that JV92's really got his work cut out for him here. Finds the first, can he find the second? Yes, he can. 1 versus 3. 1 versus 2. JV92, he's on the way, Des.
Well, Benja's at least trying to stick this one out, but he needs the cover to come on through. He'll try and make this all the way through. The vertical is there, and Uno, the angel of death from above, gets the vertical denial. A little bit of a nervy moment there. There's no pressure coming in towards admin, for example. It feels to me like they want to get in below, get some nades coming up, use the Flores to move players around, and then look for a plant in through window. And sure enough, there's that first nade kill that I was on about. It's Alamau being found out.
Yeah, Herds was the first death last time, but makes amends by picking up the first kill. Nade is in position on the window with diffuser in hand. We actually see him repel in, but Benja manages to take him down. That's diffuser down cold in sight as well. So W7M, it's all swung for them, and where they were kind of on the front foot, they've been pushed back by G2. 2 important kills. Herds manages to get a second KC onto Uno, and W7M know they've no diffuser. They know that they just need to find the kills, and boy, do they start finding them.
Need a bit of a clutch here out of Doki, but it's not going to happen. Herds, they know that he's here right now.
No, I don't think they've got any idea, and he's got Herds in support as well, who I think is who they are aware of, and Virtue's going to take him down with a Nitro. Philippok might be left wishing that he'd moved a little bit quicker. He does manage to get that trade there, but Herds was still lost along the way. 4v4, Alamau, he's tucked tight around this corner, and I'm not sure that they're aware KC is going to be finished off, which will give him away, and Nade manages to find him through the drone hole.
We love a toe shot or two, Tim. Really good stuff there. These trades going back and forth, both teams trading out players one after the other. Alamau going down is a bit of a stinger because he had those smokes in back pocket. Excellent for the denial, as we know, in the late round, lasting a good while, really forcing the attackers to have to make a risky decision. Whether you're pushing in through smoke or rotating players away, it forces action from the other side. Now, they are inside of sight, Tim. Nade's got the shield in hand to make use of here as well. Going to try and stick a plant out on this one. Uno's in a good spot, but didn't know Philippok was close. Has found himself a double. Nade into yet another. It's a 1v3 yet again, and Benja is forced to drop, and W7M are getting ahead here, Tim, 2-1.
View in, they are this time looking for that vertical control. They learned the lesson last time in Piano. Uno was able to shut it down from above. W7M, they want to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, last time it was all about the vertical nades. Doki steps up with the entry in this round, at the very least, as a starting point, but yet again, the trade is there. I love how close we're seeing W7M play together. Just everything is coming down to a 2v1 or making sure they have an answer. Here, they pulled themselves ahead as Alamau's been taken down as well. C4 offline. Looking a little bit ropey once again for G2. W7M just looking clinical, like they're on a mission here today, Tim.
Yeah, certainly starting to struggle a little bit, and we've seen the attackers have difficulties on Consulate so far. It's a big map, there's a lot of small rooms, a lot of clearance work needs to be done, so G2 having the defense to begin with need to really be trying to get a few rounds in the bag here and take the pressure off when they are on the attacking side. JV92 is going to take a lot of damage, and Benja is there, steps around the corner and finds himself a nice easy headshot.
Benja absolutely loves playing lobby desk. We've seen him play on Mozzie a few times across the competition where he'll just sit there, wait for all the drones to be exhausted, and then spring up and make his play. It's not quite the same play there, but he's used the explosives as the information as well as damage to know when to swing. Because very fair chance, JV knows he's about to get pushed, he has to get out of there, and sure enough gets the turn back. And now Ben just started moving, just misses the second, makes it a 2K in the round and brings us 2 versus 2. It's Uno and Virtue to hold out against Philippox and KZ.
KZ's going to take a lot of damage there, but the vertical control is starting to hurt G2. They haven't been able to retake above, and it leaves Uno in a 1v2 on site alone as he moves around. He knows that the pressure's there. He just needs to bide his time. He knows that there's going to be an opportunity onto the Ash, but Philippox is getting that diffuser down once again. Uno unable to hit shots here, unable to affect that diffuser. And again, W7M have just been able to focus on that objective and get the round done. As you say, it's going to be very difficult for Uno from here. As he steps through, he's going to be shut down by Philippox. First time that they have their backs against the wall, and they're sort of facing that pressure. And can they stand up to it? Alamau, he can't stand up. That's going to be 3 smokes gone as well. Herd's taking him down with a big opening kill, and a little bit of all chat going on as well.
Oh, they love it. Every single round end, they've been in all chat, just whining Alamau up as best they can, writing some Portuguese back and forth. But for Alamau there, it's a bit of an ego peak. You know, there's no reason for you to swing that window. Knowing that they've been working off the top of the roof, you know there's a very fair chance someone's going to be holding that angle, or at least in close proximity. And you stepping out, well, you just pay the price for it. They're down without their smoke yet again. KZ into a second. G2 not playing that tighter gameplay that I mentioned. You've got Doki off towards Spiral. You've got one playing inside of sight. Uno on the Warden. Still really scattered here.
Yeah, very isolated. And it's very much about can you win your individual fights. But when you're coming up against 2-3 players from W7M, those individual fights become extremely difficult. And that's what G2 are seeing at the minute. So the pressure will continue from W7M on the yellow side of the map, trying to get themselves in and around Bathroom. KZ able to just rush in on the Amaru here. Uno's just holding tight, preventing that rappel coming in. Doke does manage to pick up KZ. They're going to block off the window. So G2 just battening down the hatches a little bit, but it doesn't matter when JV's going to walk up Spiral, create the space, and W7
want it. But also remembering they've got to attack him from server side as well. You need this pinch on this side. They've already got 2 players out towards server. They aren't going to get main breach. That is now a big problem that W7M need to overcome.
There's another problem for them as Doke manages to take down KZ. JV92 is trying to push those Visa stairs. He's trying to move his way through, but G2 are holding tight at the minute. He manages to find Alamau, but this is better from G2. That is the interplay that they need as a team. One goes down, someone's there for the trade. Benja picks it up and then gets himself out of danger. It's 4 versus 3. There's only a minute left on the clock, and W7M now, they've been left scrambling.
They have. Again, you've got to try and piece together an attack here because you can't pull off what you wanted to. You bring a Glaz specifically to play behind the smokes from the Thermite, but you can't get the breach open. You're a little bit screwed in that situation, and you've still got G2 players out roaming around the map. Now, Benja's about to get challenged here. This is a big one to win, and he will win it against Hertz. A 4v2, but we almost saw them lose a 1v5, but Benja is not going to miss his shots. It's Philippox all by himself. That 4-2 half for W7M looks all but locked in right now, and sure enough it will be.
Just really needed those moments for G2.
Well, he tried Spiral and got blocked there, so he's moved his way over towards Yellow now. So G2 are trying to poke holes in this defense, find the right way through, but here comes Hertz at the backside, and Doki, can he spin and win the fight? Doki manages to find the kill. There's still one more top stairs, though. G2 are still in a 2 versus 3. W7M remain on top.
W7M might have the lead, but they can't be giving G2 opportunities like that. KZ going to take a lot of damage through the soft wall there, but Virtue can't find the kill. 20 seconds in G2. They have no option here. Virtue, Doki, you got to move, you got to go, you got to find these kills. Pops up from behind the long dash. JV92, he gets the first, taking down Doki, and there's the second onto Virtue. We'll see that Kiba barricade will be cleared out. Nitro goes out. W7M maybe just looking a little bit rattled here as everything's getting thrown at this to see what sticks, but I'll tell you what sticks, a double kill from JV and Philippox. They take down Benja and Alamau, and that's going to be a big loss for G2. You've got Uno on side, and the more people that you lose along the way, the sort of less useful that Monty becomes.
So frustrated. Again, they've tried to make a push in here and lost 2. It was exactly the same as W7M on their push in towards in trying to get the breach open earlier on. In round 1 when they tried to move their way through basement, they lost 2 players very early. The same thing has been undone to G2 here. And you just kind of sat there staring, well, what do we do now? We've lost 2 players. This is such a hard situation to come back from, and W7M have still got 2 C4s in back pocket to play behind. Virtue gets 1, but at this point, it feels like more of a consolation kill. Yet again, W7M are there with the trade, and it's all on Doki to clutch up big. And it's simply not going to happen.
KZ going to close him down.
Everyone boxing in towards server, except Benja, who's playing a bit of distraction, a little bit of backstab on the other side. This feels like a classic Siege execute potentially building up. Hertz is going to find one. Benja getting his kill elsewhere on the map. The problem is, Tim, this is one of their site players going down here as well. This is the execute-focused gun they need. And really here, they're looking for crossfires to protect Uno on that push in. They've got no smokes to play behind, for example. Everything is going to be off this Monty getting into a strong position and a plant probably going down behind him.
This is it, and at the moment, it just doesn't seem like G2 have had that sort of look realistically. Uno just, again, dancing around that door, like you say, maybe just not supported enough to be able to get into sight. And with only 50 seconds left to go, there's work that needs to be done. There's hatches that can't be opened because they're electrified. There's, you know, so much stacking up against G2 here that it's going to be a very tough finish to the round. Herds, he's got that nitro place. If he hears that castle barricade knocked, he would have gone, but no, instead he's going to give himself an option to get onto the flank.
They're transitioning towards the ground floor hit, I think here. They've abandoned on the downstairs, but it's a bait, because Uno's still coming in through server. All attention has been pulled upwards. Uno, if he goes down here, it's over.
It's Alamo who's going to be taken out with a nitro from below. It's 2 versus 2, 15 seconds left to go. And Uno, he's going to have to find a position to get a plant down. He drops the shield to offer some sort of fleeting protection as that diffuser goes down. Benja needs to get through here on the cover. Nade manages to close it out, and surely that is the end of Conceal. W7M in quick fashion come in and send a huge message to G2.
Frustrated Alamo, Herds in his head rent-free. The only way we can describe that first map, and I've already said it, for me, and the desk has said it too, Alamal's mindset change, being that IGL for his team, not letting W7M into his head.
They've got Freezer, they've got Laundry now. The diffuser is being moved down towards the front side of the site, and it is just getting so difficult for G2. They're just getting forced into a tight group in the middle, in a little ball, and W7M are then going to go in and just try and cut through them.
They've got a 3 split towards the top side, one coming in through E-Box in the form of Hertz as well. Uno's going to find one already. A second falls, Alamal's on the board, traded out straight away. It's 1 for 1 between the 2 teams, and they've got the mirror window, but he still wins. KZ has pulled off not quite the impossible, but a bit of a work of God there. Can't get the next, and G2 will take round 1. There could be someone very silent running at you on the other side. KZ, no way has he won that through the Fenrir gadget. One hell of a shot and gets his kill. Virtue gets a couple back on the other side. Doki, he does strike up. There's one on side of sight. Hertz has struck deep into the heart of G2. It's down to a 3v3, a 3v2, a C4 out. They are wailing on each other, Tim.
Doki's moving in here, manages to find himself a pistol kill, and that is going to close out
G2 forward. There have been a couple of backroom staff on G2, both current and old, that have said Virtue may just be the most mechanically gifted player in the game, which is high praise coming in from coaching staff. When you see the likes of Shaiko and Benja playing day to day, they're absolutely terrifying. But the reason why Virtue isn't always putting up big numbers is because he's got an incredible front line. Uno's down in the corner this time round in the 4. Not quite the front line player you look for, but he's got 4 kills in the game so far, Tim. But normally, again, Benja, Alamo and Doki are the ones always getting the kills in the front. Virtue's there when things go bad, and that's exactly what you've got him for. They step round. Great team play coming out of G2. Once again, they're playing off each other.
And that is what was missing on Consulate. Hertz is now left 1v5. He is going to deny the flawless round, but it's very unlikely that he manages to get anything else in the bag here. Alamo has come up big with 2 kills in the middle of the round there. Fresh picked up on him at the beginning of this game, saying that they needed Alamo to be growing into it. They needed him to be finding his presence, finding his performance, and that might just be the spark that he needs.
I just love the strength we're seeing the backline players in Virtue and Uno so far as well. We had the Nut walking onto site last round. They still locked everything down. Between them, 9 kills across these 3 rounds. Again, you don't always see these boys shine because the frontline players are the ones doing all the work, but having that strong backline you can fall on, it takes you back to TSM SI21 when we had Charlotte and Geo that were just unshakable in the back, and that's when you got through the front 3 of TSM. So you're seeing a similar sort of style here where those 2 back players, unshakable, unmovable, and an absolute terror for W7M if they can't get their way through this team.
Herds taking his time, just waiting for opportunities.
Alamo needed that one for the confidence.
I think Herds just, I don't think he's, he's not in a position, he's not trying to buy time for his team here. They're not, I don't think, having, those sort of unofficial timeouts that we talk about sometimes. He's not trying to burn the round. He's got a lot of time to play with. And what he's doing is he's trying to bait G2 into taking this gunfight. He's wanting them to come and look for him. As it happens, it really wasn't the best.
W7M, again, full credit. They dealt with Doki very quick. They got the trade. Benja, they hunted down, knowing that he was alone on the top floor without Doki there to assist. They've played things incredibly well, and that's, I'm afraid, an indestructible, man. I think only explosives get rid of it at this point. But the push may well come on through. Another Flores drone is going to come rattling on forward here. Should be able to get rid of that one, and that's none left in the back pocket of Herds here. So this shield very much staying in place. They're not going to lose everything to one Rotero like they did last time round.
No, that could be key for the round, but no, they managed to find a path. W7M, absolutely fantastic play there. Opening up that wall, opening up the hatch, and just getting the angle they need down onto Uno. He was in a no-win situation. And right now, 2 versus 4, 30 seconds left to go. W7M look like they've got the sails of first round.
Bit of miscom there, I think, as well, and the hatch being opened up. It always means that Uno is exposed. Alamo in a good spot. He's going to find Nade here. Doesn't want to get too close to that hatch again, though. One inside a pillar. Virtue's found a second. I spoke about these backline players, Tim, and they're starting. Herds just misses one. Flicks onto Virtue. It's Alamo left against 2 here. Shotgun in hand. The knife comes out. Herds finds his equal. Join the rest of his team elsewhere on site. Very much at the center of things once again. Philippok, 0-4 so far on the map. But again, Capital brings a lot of utility. Doki starting out the frag in this time round. Benja tucked inside a laundry side, and JB gets the trade back. Doki, as much as getting kills, there is always an answer from the LATAM side.
Certainly is. Uno, for the minute, is trying to hold on inside a bunker, and he may just be in a critical position as this continues. Alamo gets himself caught in a nasty crossfire, and it's all up to Benja and Uno. Benja on the ward, and he's seeing through the smoke. He's just checking the bottom of laundry. He knows that there's somebody around there. The timing isn't with him, and he just misses the cross. It's all up to Uno. He finds one. He can't find any more, and W7M get round 5 and bring it back to 2-3. G2 get themselves the advantage. Like you say, they really want to be taking a 4-2 half. If you come away 3-0 and then it's 3-3 at the break, I think you're kind of asking what's happened at that point. Okay, manages to find the second onto Nade, and then Philippok is just trying to get anything he can get going from that master balcony, but has to drop away.
A little bit tentative here, yeah. You had the initial charge for where Herds was by himself, hoping to make a lot of space very quickly. Then had your hard breacher step forward and get domed by Doki. It's not ideal. Virtue sat inside of security gets one. Philippak might find a nade kill, but it feels at 4 versus 2 like this one is a bit of a rough ask for W7M to bring back. It could be that 4-2 half that G2 will be happy with.
Oh. G2 got lucky there, almost caught out reinforcing, but again, that team play just coming to the forefront. Somebody there on the cover, ready to take those shots and back each other up. All they've managed to find so far is Doki, but the damage was done from him for this round. He'd already found 2. Uno shuts out the round. G2 go for a 4th.
Going north, Tim.
After the flash goes in to clear any potential utility that will stop this nade, Benja is going to send it down. The drop comes on through. Doki gets 2, but W7M, they stand up fantastically. There's Herds, JB92 finding kills. G2, they need to get moving again here. 15 seconds, and that's great from Alamo. 2 versus 1 now. Herds, he's stuck back in freezer. There could be an opportunity for them to get this diffuser down.
But he could ruin everything here as well. Net to 2K off the back of Doki's 3.
As well, really nice Oryx play.
Really thought we might see there a spring in from G2 if they knew one was off-site up north trying to challenge Alamo. He could have sprinted towards Kid's window and made that a very quick fight, but W7M are playing a little bit of G2 strat here, holding pretty firm on and around site itself. With the classic LATAM extending towards Armory, you've got KZ playing out on that side of the map in case anyone does try and walk up Armory or push in through Armory window, but no one is doing that right now, so G2 have to make this work with just 3.
Yeah, they're just going to have to force their way in at this point. There's really no space being given by W7M. Herds manages to find Virtue, and just everywhere that G2 have probed, W7M have been there waiting. This could be a flawless round. It's all up to Alamo. He's on the Amaru just outside of game's window, and guess what? They know exactly where he is. Philippak is going looking. You just know that he's desperate for it.
Send a message, get out the window. That's what I want to see. And it's Nade to find his man. A flawless round coming out for W7M.
He knows that the opportunity is there for him.
You're going to go green here, I imagine, try a bit of a backstab, and could very well get away with it unless G2 have got some great flank drones set up. We've got the beauty of a top-down view, and we can't see any drones anywhere. G2, the backstab has been executed, and Herds may have just deleted this attack already for G2.
And with a Nomad on the board, you've got to ask questions there. Obviously, there is a lot to cover off here on Oregon. Multiple staircases where those air jabs are going to be used to prevent anybody moving up from the basement. But if you know somebody's on the top floor and you're trying to play without dealing with them, then they maybe have to position in different places, and the air jab's just not effective on the Roma whatsoever there. Herds just absolutely free double kill for him, and that probably breaks the back of this G2 attack.
All air jabs are in back pocket. That is not ideal. In fact, all gadgetry is still in back pocket for G2 outside of the tin openers and one frag grenade. This is not really what you want coming into the last 30 seconds. G2 are going to lose this round with everything still in back pocket and able to be used. Uno might find one, finds a second as well, but has got to go through three more. W7M are not going to let that happen.
But bringing the cap can. And again, if W7M have got the feeling that, hey, they're not droning effectively here, bring the cap can, because that's when you're going to catch them out. 5 versus 3 now as Felipox picks up Uno, and W7M are really starting to dominate over the last couple of rounds. G2 Des, they're in big trouble.
It's a really good read from Felipox there, I think, as well, to get into a good spot just to find Uno out. As he on the Ossa as well was really the one you're looking for to execute. Hard breach onto meeting wall, Ossa to execute with the shield. They can't do that. G2 are just going to have to go for frags in this round, and given how the gunfights have been going so far, I'm just not too convinced it's going to be the round for them.
It's certainly not looking that way at the minute. Herds, he's still up there. The thing is, W7M can play with more of a freedom now. They can leave people up on the top floor when otherwise they might dip themselves away.
Shot!
Herds, he just absolutely slams Benja as he peeks around the pit door and finds his man.
Honestly.
Herds is unstoppable right now, and Alamo just his latest in a long line of victims. W7M on their feet and starting to feel confident.
The east side of Benja working his way in, but Benja's got to go big here. He's got to unseat Herds, who is unseatable, and that's to deal with Big Tower at the same time. W7M have just got layers upon layers here, Tim. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Unaware of Felipox, surely, who's just going to peek around the corner, gets one. Can he get a second? Yes! Flips himself 180, turns on the turn and burn, and finds his man, and it's falling apart for G2 right now. 4 versus 2.
Yet again, it comes down to that drone play and someone not being sniffed out. Herds finds yet another multi-kill in this game. W7M really making that claim for the finals. Benja's got it all to do. Bottom white, he's not going to win it. Herds gets a 4K, Tim.
When they do go in.
See Benjamin being nervous that they might again get flanked out here, but it's not going to be the case. Goyo canister, barbed wire, barricade, all taken down, but Alamo has got to make a push happen inside of Elbow. It's him versus Nade on the Fenrir. That is going to be the big fight to determine this round.
Alamo is ready to go here. The utility starts to rain in, and the drop will begin. But it's Felipox. He finds the first, KZ the second. They started at a steady pace here in Atlanta, but it has only picked up as they have gone. And like the Bulls, that is their mascot. W7M have charged their way into the grand final at the Atlanta Major.
For a few seconds, it looked like G2 might be bouncing back after a strong first half. But W7M, you cannot deny just how terrifying this team is to watch. Barely a gap left in their lineups. And G2 have got some work to do before we come to SI.